Okay.
Iris is good to go.
I don't have the gavel, but I have the intent. I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. Can we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Let's see. 2.1, acceptance of the minutes from March 10th, 2020. I need a
So moved.
pass. Okay, moved and second. Now, when we're voting in favor, do we have to do a roll call every time, or can we like have a show of hands? Lisa?
We could do a show of hands. Let's do a show of hands. Just make sure you ask if anyone's opposed.
Okay, all of those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No opposed.
Minutes of March 17th. Someone move the resolution, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. Raise your hand. All those opposed? Anyone opposed? Okay, it passes unanimously. Public forum is suspended. The board president. I am just delighted to see you all tonight, and I hope Phil can join us next time. And I think we're doing all right. But I have to say that I really do enjoy being in your real company. So hopefully that will happen soon and soon. And that's my comments for tonight. Board membership, any comments? Wayne?
I would like to thank our entire team, from the administrators, the superintendent, deputy superintendent, assistant superintendent to business, Mr. Napoli, and our staff. Everyone's working really, really hard through this difficult time, and in my opinion, from what I see, doing a really great job. So I appreciate all the hard work during this really difficult time.
Well, I second that, Wayne. Thank you very much. Any other board members have anything they'd like to say? Okay, let's go on. The student representatives are not here. Superintendent Wiles.
I have a few things this evening. I want to start by talking about the state budget, our budget, and the budget vote. So at this point, if you've been watching, the governor at his daily press briefings, our budget vote has been delayed, and it's been delayed to the earliest of June 1st. And we don't believe that the vote is going to happen June 1st or June 2nd. There's a date of June 9th that has been out there, but we still don't have any kind of confirmation on when the vote is, what the vote looks like as far as an in-person vote or an absentee vote. And we're hoping that by the end of this week or next week, we should have some more updates for you. So really, we are on a pause with that. There are no petitions out. There's no finalized adopted budget by the board to put up to the voters. And once we get additional information, we will be able to have a meeting with you to finalize a number. So let's talk about the budget for a moment. So last time we met, we talked about the state budget and the number that was adopted by the legislature. That number came in with about a $700,000 deduct with no increase to foundation aid. And if you remember, on the bottom part of that document, and that document is online for anybody that wants to look at it under the budget tab, the federal government had matched that $700,000. So we did lose foundation aid, but we did not get cut. But remember, that legislation included 3 lookbacks, and the first look back happens after April 30th, which is going to be on Thursday. So after Thursday,
for a minute and ask you, what does a look back? What does that mean? I'm not sure I understand what that means.
a look back means that the Division of Budget and the governor and the legislature is going to look at the fiscal health of the state, and they're going to determine how much revenue there is, how or not, what the loss of revenue's been, what the expenditures look like, and what the state of the fiscal health is of where we are right now, April 30th. Now, we all know that it's not good. We know that there's been, less sales tax revenue. We know that it's not a good picture from everything that we're seeing. What we don't know is what the federal government is going to match for us or for the state, what kind of federal support, like the stimulus money 10 or 12 years ago, in 2010, 2008. There's money that the feds put up so that it softened the blow to the municipalities and school districts. We're waiting for that. We're waiting to see if that's going to happen or not. In the absence of any kind of federal support, it appears that the governor has put out a number of schools can lose 20%. We don't know what 20% means to Ellenville. We're a high needs district. We are just surmising right now and, guessing. It's a guessing game, and we don't build budgets on guessing games right now. So we are at a pause. New York's at a pause. We're at a pause. Everyone's at a pause. We cannot make decisions. We are not recommending for the board to vote on a number right now, because if you voted on a tentative number to put up tonight, you couldn't modify that number by the time the vote happens. There's no authorization for you to do that, according to our attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing is we're telling you, let's pause. Let's wait to see what they're going to tell us the revenues look like, which we think we're going to get, at the end of this week, possibly next week. And then we'll come back to you and see. Now, it could be that we're in status quo with where we were. The probability of that happening, I don't know what it is, but if the federal government puts some money up, we might be there. If they don't put any money up, we might be looking at, significant cuts moving forward. So we really have a lot to take in, and I don't know what it's going to be. So we're on pause, and we will bring you more information as we get there. So that's where we are with the budget and the budget vote. So as soon as we have money, I hope we have money. As soon as we have more information, we will roll that out to you. We received an email on the next note from the State Education Department with regard to the P-TECH program. And as I told you at the last meeting, there was a lot of discussion about them delaying or pushing out the program so that the 2021 school year for us would be a planning year, and then the program would start 21-22. And that is what the plan is. However, in the correspondence that they sent us, they put a caveat in there, subject to funding. So depending upon what the finances look from the state, there'll be more guidance on P-TECH. But our approval is still there. It's going to be whether or not they fund it or not. So more information to come there. On a positive note, different business other than the whole COVID thing, and I'm going to come back to COVID in a minute. Within the next month, our policy manual should be online. Marisol is working really hard with Erie One BOCES to get that up there. So that's a project that continues to be worked on, as we're moving forward. There's still business going on. As I get into the remote learning piece, I just want to say publicly to our staff, our teachers, our support staff, our administrators, really kudos for all the work that's been done here. I'm a little emotional about it because, March 13th, we closed school. First, there was a little electrical issue. There really was an electrical issue, I want to assure you. And then we rolled into closing the following week. And our staff stepped up, and the remote learning, distance learning program that we have rolled out, there were bumps, and there continue to be bumps. But for a district that had all the Chromebooks in the building, we've distributed, I think we're up to like 1,200 Chromebooks that have been sent out to our families. And we up until when we had to close the buildings, parents and students were still coming to get them. So we feel really, really good about that. And there was a lot of work that was done. There was a lot of paper that was pushed out with regard to all kinds of lessons and continuous learning activities to our families. So they had that. And now in the last, couple of weeks, the teachers have been really working hard with their students, and they're set up. Most of them are set up on Google Classroom, and there's some really phenomenal meetings and work that's taking place. I'm hoping to be able to put together some kind of video or something to show you what that looks like if we can moving forward. But there's really a lot of work that's been done. And I know that our faculty and our administrators have been holding faculty meetings and grade level meetings, and people have been attending. There's a lot of positive work going on. Now, there's a lot of frustration from the parent side of this too, because they're home, right? And they're not teachers. And I really want to give kudos to the parents out there because they're hanging in with us. And I know I've gotten some emails, and I know that the administrators and teachers are getting emails, but everyone's really working so hard to get this moving, keep this moving. Chances are, I don't have a crystal ball. I think by Friday we'll know what the plan is to come back into the buildings or not. I can't foresee that, but it's not our decision. That decision lies with the state, and we're waiting for the governor and the state education department to push more of that forward. So I too want to echo what the board said about heartfelt thank you to everyone involved here. If you're interested in looking at the distance learning plans and all the correspondence on our website, as soon as you click on and you click off the notification that we are closed until May 15th, there's different links there. You can go and look at all the correspondence that's gone out to parents from each building. Each building's distance learning plan is posted on our website, along with a FAQ and other information. You should also know that the state education department has reopened the portal, and we have been asked to update our continuous learning plans. Those plans are public, and they will be made public. Once we update all of that, we'll make sure that that's posted on our website and that the board gets all of that. In board docs, in your library, we've been trying to push as much information up as we can in there. I want to share about a report that the administrators put together. I'm not sure that you have it yet. You will have it at the next meeting. There's concern that we've had for the students that we have not heard from, that might not be connected electronically to us or in any other way. So there is a process in place where teachers can fill out a form, and the form automatically, that information automatically gets inputted into a spreadsheet that the administrators have access to. And in that document, and we'll share that document with you at the next meeting, there's who the students are, when we've heard from them last or not at all, and then what the intervention's been. So the building administrators, the counselors, and the other support staff are really reaching out to our families that have not been in as much touch with us as we can. And people are working really hard at that. We're also working with our students with disabilities. We've been working, Dr. Fogarty's been working with the special education staff and parents and getting as many services as we can done remotely and distance learning. So we're really thoughtful, and of course there are glitches and things that have been missed, but every time something gets brought to our attention, we really do try to address it. And Angela, I'll defer to you also for your comments if you have anything else to add, but that plan and that program's been rolled out, and we are really working hard at it. So I also want to just comment about our seniors, 8th grade students, and our kindergartners, but especially to our seniors. So I know that this has been a terribly difficult year for anybody in 12th grade across the state. But of course, I care most about our 12th graders in Ellenville. And I know that there's been a lot of sacrifice that's been made, at nobody's fault. But I want you and I want the community and the board to know that the staff is working really hard to figure out what we can do for the seniors under the circumstances we have. So we're not sitting back thinking June's going to roll around or not. We have some good ideas. Big thing is that we have to keep everybody safe, follow what the guidelines are of the CDC and the health department. But we are going to be recognizing our senior class, our class of 2020. And as we have more information about that, we will roll that out to you. We are also, we haven't forgotten about our 8th graders or our kindergarten ceremonies. I don't know what they're going to look like. We are, we're working on it, but there's a big focus right now on high school graduation. So more information to follow, but it is not lost in the mix. And that's what I have this evening.
I wanted to ask you a question. The building is closed now, entirely. And is that going to continue that way, or will there be people in and out of the building at some point?
So right now, as we had reported and we put out, we did have an employee who tested positive, and we thought it was prudent to shut the buildings down. On Monday, we had somebody come in, a company come in and do some cleaning. And next week, we will have, we will be cleaning, a deep cleaning in all 3 buildings. And we hope that, we know that we're scheduled to open, I think it's Monday, May 11th. On a limited basis, like we were, rotating schedule in. But that's planned for no later than the 11th. That's what we put out.
Okay, very good. Thank you. What do we have next here? I got lost in my agenda. Just a second, folks. The Assistant Superintendent for Business would be Mr. Napoli. Do you have anything you'd like to share with us tonight, Vince?
Vince, you're muted. You're muted.
Sometimes I think he's doing that.
Who muted me? No. Okay. Well, anyway, so I'll make this brief. We have close to 40 volunteers coming every Monday and Wednesday, and we're serving close to 600 meals every day during food distribution. So I'm very happy with the support that we're getting from the volunteers, from our transportation contractor, as well as everyone who's driving their personal vehicles and spending the time to help us out on both of those days. And that's all that I have.
I have a question for you, Vince. The contract with Rolling V, there are documents in here. And so can you just give us the essence of what those documents are?
Sure. So what the MOA that will be going up tonight is that the transportation contractor will agree not to let go any of his staff, because there are implications and ramifications if they let their staff go. Starting back up, we would end up breaking the contract if we stop paying them. So the plan is just to cover their overhead. So we won't be paying for fuel. We won't be paying for any layovers. And let's say certain runs like homeless students or any special runs outside of the regular home to school and the late runs, we wouldn't be paying for sports. So there would be a savings on our end this year. So we're not on the hook for the entire contract. That's what the MOA is for.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Vince? We're good? Okay.
Nope, Jody had her hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, Jody. Go ahead.
Okay, Vince, in your report you have about the pool. What have we found out from the county and the CDC about even opening the pool this year? I saw we did a pool walkthrough and had some maintenance that has to be done, but what are we hearing on that?
So I haven't heard anything back, and maybe the superintendent has from the town. They're probably waiting on everything to open up as well. I could certainly follow up with the director, but she hasn't given us any indication that they plan on closing or opening the pool at this time. I think we're like everyone else. We're just kind of waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think we're at a pause right now, and we're waiting to see what the state reopens up.
Okay, now we're going to hold off on those maintenance items that have to be fixed until we know for opening. Or are we going to move forward on getting them done? So we will, if they do decide to open, we're ready to go.
I would recommend that we move forward on fixing the issues down there.
That was the plan, was to move forward and get the work done. It has to be done anyway, and you might as well get it done now while you can.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, Miss Urbina Medina, would you like to share with us tonight?
Sure. The only item that I wanted to touch base on that wasn't mentioned in my report has to do with the elementary summer boost program. We're continuing to recruit for the summer program from July to August, but that's in anticipation of us having a program, and we really don't know what's going to take place with our elementary school students. So as soon as we get some more information, I'll be able to follow up.
Very good. Anyone have any questions for Angela? No? Okay, we'll go on to the resolutions.
Iris, before you I know you're going there. One other comment. I neglected to thank all of the volunteers that have been, I know Vince mentioned it, but our volunteers have been sticking through that food delivery. And when we're back in session, I know the board would want to recognize them, and we plan on doing that at a meeting. But there are also community businesses that are supporting us and supporting those volunteers. So when I say, and we say Ellenville Strong and Blue Devil Pride, this community, as always, and whenever we're facing any kind of adversity, has all come together, and there's huge support for the school district and our kids. So I just wanted to leave it on that note. I didn't want to leave the volunteers or the community out.
Very
Sorry
good.
about that.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll go on to the resolutions now. I just wanted to ask a question. Do we need to do them all separately, or can we move them or pull out just certain ones? Or I'm not sure how you want to proceed with this at this moment. Lisa, you have
If the board is so inclined, someone can move all the resolutions and then pull them out. It's all what the board, chooses to do here.
Motion for consent agenda.
Second.
So at this point, I have to ask if there are any to pull out, or we vote first for consent and then pull out any. I'm not sure how the correct procedure. John, do you know?
I believe that you should vote on the motion, and then you could go back and amend it for people to pull out.
Oh, okay. So the motion is to have a consent agenda for the full agenda, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we need to set.
There is a first and second, right?
Yes, Wayne and Reverend Collins.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. Is there anyone opposed? So we'll have a full consent agenda for the full agenda. And are there any that need to be pulled out for separate discussion?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so then we have to have a motion now, John, or
A motion.
Move.
And do we have, so you're moving to have a agenda, and the second.
Second.
Okay, all of those in favor of consent agenda, all of the resolutions listed, please raise your hand and say, we got everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. So at this point, I want to say the next meeting is scheduled for May 12th. And so I guess we'll just have to see if we'll continue online, right?
Yeah, but if we're still socially distancing, we'll probably be back at an online meeting, but more information to follow, that's for sure.
Okay. So can I have a motion to adjourn? Julius, a second. All those in favor of adjourning? Hand.
Yep.
Very good,
Any
folks.
opposed? No opposed.
So the meeting is adjourned. It was again great to see you all. Be well and be safe. And I'm sure we'll be here again soon.
Thank you, everyone. Good to see you. Be well.
Yes.
Good to see you all.
Yes.
Take care, everyone.
Okay.
You too. You too.
Bye-bye.